Thank you so much. Welcome all for today's session, Navigating the National Archives of India. Before we go on introducing the session, I would like to briefly introduce Kashf Initiative to everyone. We are a non-profit initiative started by a group of scholars from South Asia based at different universities at Oxford, Cambridge, Edinburgh, JNU, DU, Deakin, among others, researching and learning in social sciences and humanities. And the aim was to make research and learning in social sciences and humanities more accessible, especially to students and learners from non-metropolitan regions or underserved institutions. As we look back at our journey, one of the fundamental things why we started this Kashf initiative was with a very fundamental idea that there was a very significant gap in our training, in our research training, which was that we were never taught very foundational skills like reading text closely or thinking methodologically or asking sharp questions. And these were sidelined in the pedagogy. So these were gaps that we felt firsthand. And in order to address these gaps, we started this initiative. It was a deliberate space as a response to this. So it was for returning to the fundamentals, not as a remedial step, but as a way of honoring the labor of thought, a reminder that scholarship can still be generous, slow, meaningful, and serious. We have hosted a range of sessions until now, as many of you might know, start from everything from the basics of research to writing a proposal to doing literature review, literature referencing. We have held workshops in collaboration with Oxford and other institutes. We've also done sessions in regional languages, and you have all supported us through this journey. Thank you very much, and we hope to continue receiving your support and doing these sessions. So let me just begin to introduce our panel for today's sessions, and I feel good. We are very happy to have with us today Syed Farid Ahmad, who is who will be our key speaker for today's session. Sir is a distinguished archives and records governance professional with over 30 years of experience at the National Archives of India, where he retired as deputy director. He has a strong background in history, research, and archival management, and has played a key role in preserving and promoting India's documentary heritage. His expertise spans archival administration, records and e-records management, conservation, preservation, and archival policy development. He has contributed significantly to modernizing records management practices and advancing the role of digital records in safeguarding institutional and national memory. Today, we are very happy to have him with us join for this session, and he will be sharing his insights on navigating the National Archives of India. Thank you so much, and thank you so much, sir, and we welcome you. Today, we are also very glad to have with us our discussant, Mr. Samir Parker, who is an alumnus of Hindu College, Delhi University. He has done his bachelor's in Sanskrit with physics and his master's in Sanskrit. He has also done a diploma in archives and records management from the National Archives of India. And we are very happy that he is here to share his extensive insights on this topic with us. Just a brief note on this session. We recognize that this session requires an in-depth exploration, and that's why this is just a brief introduction, a context building to National Archives of India. We do not expect our speakers to be able to cover everything. We hope that they will be able to introduce the landscape of National Archives of India and give you a brief context. And this will be a taster for all of you who want to do archival research and are beginning with archival research to get a sense of what it means to navigate the National Archives. We are hoping to follow this up with more demonstrative sessions with more detailed explanations of accessing the archives, of accessing the records, and how one has to go about all of that. So we will have follow-up sessions on those topics more extensively, while we hope that this session will be a good context builder, a good introduction to those themes. With that being said, we would like to start today's session, and I would like to hand over the session to our speaker, Syed Farid Ahmad. Sir, we welcome you, and I give the space to you. So please go ahead, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very good evening to all of you. Namaskar. I feel privileged to speak on National Archives of India after my retirement 6 months before. Around 6 months I would be completing. So I had the opportunity of speaking on National Archives and its working a lot of times, but perhaps after retirement, This is the second opportunity I'm getting of telling and introducing the contribution of National Archives of India. So, friends, this organization is one of the very old department of Government of India. It is started in 1891 in the name of Imperial Record Department at Calcutta. A brief introduction is required before I come to the contribution of National Archives of India. So it has started in 1891 as the Imperial Record Department, and when we became independent in 1947, it became National Archives of India. So we have a archives, this National Archives at present functional as its headquarters at New Delhi and its record centers at Bhubaneswar, Pondicherry, Jaipur, and its record office at Bhopal. So a very big department and a custodian of a huge document, huge records of Government of India and the Crown period, after independence record, post independence record. So we have a lot of series, and in the recent calculations, the rough calculation which we had made about 4 years before, when we started this digitization project of National Archives of India in a mission mode. In that, the calculation was made that we are having a huge collection of 34 crore pages available in headquarter and its branches at its research centers and its research office at Bhopal. Uh, I recall my days of my research when I was doing my MPhil from JNU. At that time, I had been the regular visitor to the National Archives of India as a research scholar. So it was a time in late 80s when I was doing my MPhil. So the scenario of and the facility of research being provided to the scholar at that time and in the present scenario, it's totally different, I would say. At that time, everything was being done manually, and we were consulting the documents stored at National Archives of India, the original sources we had to consult and give the requisition, and then the files were being supplied by the repository division of National Archives of India every day, and it was supposed to be seen, consulted. The notes were to be jotted, and then it was returned. And likewise, the PhD students were doing the needful accordingly, which I would say still in many of the state archives they are doing, and they are following till their records are also being digitized and brought online. So I won't say that what is available in National Archives of India, it's totally a digitized version of the records available. We are in the process, and I think we have already completed about 21 crore pages, but still 10 or 11 crore pages are to be done of the calculation made earlier. After that, a lot of records are still hoarding because it's a continuous process in which the records are being brought from the record creating agencies, and after the due procedure, archival procedures followed, they are being brought to the repository, and then it comes in the public domain. So dear students and scholars, I'm sure you are well aware that whatever record are available in any of the archives, mostly I would say they are in the public domain. In context of our country, in the National Archives of India, apart from some of the cartographic records which have the boundaries with China, Myanmar, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and Arunachal area. So, so-called the disputed boundaries. Those records are not available to the scholars without the prior permission of Ministry of External Affairs or Ministry of Defense, for which a special permission is to be sought from there, and then only the scholar they can consult these records. This was the scenario which has come into force from 1993 when we had our Public Record Act, by the provision of which the records are being brought to National Archives. All needful essentials of record management is followed, and then it is put before the scholars when they come to research room and consult those records. So it was the physical records which was coming and being shown. Now, as I said, we are in the phase of digital archives, in the digitization and availability of records in a digital mode. So there are a lot of changes which has been made and is being practiced at National Archives of India, in which now the scholars they won't be allowed to see the original files without a special condition which they will have to explain. Otherwise, it's totally the digital version which is being shown to the scholars and being supplied to the scholars as per use. The details of the facilities being provided to the scholars is very much available in the website of National Archives of India, and a special reference to the research room facilities where the National Archives of India has been bound by the provisions of the national of the clauses, the para clauses for facilitating the scholars. So those are scholars who are interested, or those researchers, or even the students. At times, in the present context, if we see that the undergraduate students also, or at the level of post graduation, they are supposed to write some article or some paperwork, some kind of seminar to be done, and the archival record is to be consulted. For all those students and scholars who are interested to consult these records, they are supposed to register to the National Archives of India Research Room. All these things, as I said, because now we are in the digital era, so everything has been automated, and you are supposed to register in the Abhilekh Patal, the Patal which is facilitating the scholars for the consultation of the documents available in archives, I mean the National Archives of India. uh, Whatever documents it has been already digitized, there's no issue for their consultation and taking the digital version. If the Esquire requires, the research scholar requires those copies, they can fill the requisition and make the payment and get those valuable documents for their consultation. Uh, there are, of course, some charges, but not very painful, I would say. It's a very meager amount to be charged by the scholars. All the details with regard to the payment and the cost per pages of these documents, you can see the detailed list is available in the URL of research room. If you open the site of National Archives of India, there are various, you will see the various URL concerning the various aspects being dealt and handled by National Archives of India. So, being the scholars, your URL will be mainly confined to the research room practices and the facilities which is being provided by the research room to the scholars. Um, but as I said, still there are about 10 crore records which is in the process of being digitized. If the scholar is in need of document from the non-digitized records, they are supposed to consult the metadata, get the records details, and give the detail to the research room, and they will be doing the needful the facility which is at present being practiced, that they are being digitized on priority, digital on demand, which is called DOD, digital on demand. And then there is also a system of page on POD, that is page on demand. As per the requirement and request of the scholar, they are being provided the DOD or POD as, and that facilitates the scholar for the consultation and completing their records from the available series of National Archives of India. This is the practice not only being followed at our headquarters, but the same practice is being done at our regional office of Bhopal, National Archives of India, Bhubaneswar, National Archives of India, Pondicherry, National Archives of India, Jaipur. So all we are, as I said, this digital process is being done in a mission mode, and there was an attempt that it will be completed in the span of 3 years, but unfortunately, due to some of the technical requirements and the on the spot obstacles which were being found, which because of which the project got some delayed, and technical delay. Technical delay, because the calculation at that time, I was the deputy director and I was also the in charge of this project, and in fact we had made these calculations and completion of the work. But we were not very much familiar with the technical aspects. What will the obstacles which we will be facing at the time of handling the records and doing the digitization. So that calculation which was earlier made in the mission mode, we could not follow, and still we are in the process that at the earliest the left out documents, they will be completed. But I won't say that by completing of this 34 crore pages all the documents will be complete, because as I said, because we have the public record, and this is a continuous process of bringing the records from the ministries, departments who come under the purview of the Public Record Act and rules. So it is a continuous process, I would say. Again, after completion of this 34 pages, crore pages, maybe a second or third attempt will be made for doing the further digitization and making it available to the scholars. But I'm happy to say that whatever we have done, the efforts of National Archives of India, of course, it has been done by outsourcing from the company, and they also did their best to reach to the target of completion. But as I said, some of the technical issues which has come, and it has been sorted out, and we are doing the needful for early completion of those left out documents, so that the scholars, they can be well facilitated for consultation of the records. Now, this is the system of functioning of the the National Archives of India, which is to be taken care for the scholars. Now, for registration, they have to bring their identity card or letter from university, and with photographs and all these all details you will find in the URL and the details of research room. All these details have been mentioned. We are there to facilitate and make the things easier for students, researchers, and faculties who are interested for consultation of these records. Then, of course, the duty of the archives is also to take care of the conservation aspect of these these records. So at times, the scholars they have to face those issues when they give the requisition that these records are in a brittle form. But I'm again assuring that maybe at times they are getting the response that it is in the repair state, but they could not get those documents for consultation. So what happens is, since as I said, it's a very old documents, and due care has been made for their protection, but still, as you see, there is a change of technology and facilities. The records which were left by the British people and that care which the independent India and the archivist of the Indian independent India took, they did their best to conserve and protect those records. But anyhow, some of them got some decay, for which we are again having the conservation outreach program for proper care and conservation of these records. As per the calculation, about 15% of these records have been found that they required immediate restoration and proper care and conservation. So we have this facility of the conservation simultaneously in this digitization. There is a separate project for ongoing project for the conservation and making the records in a better condition so that it can be digitized and made available to the scholars. So a due effort is being made on the part of National Archives of India. We have the SOP for consultation of these records. We have the SOP for all the facilities to be provided to the scholars who are consulting, and proper care is being made in these direction. Then there are some security issues when we are talking about the research room facilities and the consultation of the documents by the scholars and providing those documents to the scholars. So what has been observed, that some of the scholars they could not handle the records and give proper care to the records. The step was taken that only the digital version will be shown, and even the records which has not been digitized, they will be digitized on priority or page to page digitization on demand, page on demand, and the pages DOD, which is called demand of the scholars, and they are being provided to the scholars. But the outcome that they get these documents. But for consultation of the sources, they can come to the archive. They will be allowed to see the original records, transfer list, or proceeding volumes, or the other modus operandi of these metadata, from which all these metadata they are available online. So the scholars, they can see these records through the metadata of the available record series. And if they are interested to see the original, the consultations, the proceeding volumes, consultations, the transfer list, then they are being allowed. They can come to the research room and see those. But of course, as far as the files are concerned, they are not being allowed to see the original. They will be provided the digital copy of those records. So all due care is being taken by the team of the National Archives of India. There are archivists, senior archivists, to attend to the requirements of the researcher scholars, and then there is an assistant director who guides them, and of course then the deputy director. And if required, it is the scholar, they are free to go to the director general if they require some, if they have some grievance, or if they require some extraordinary facility in this regard, for consultation of the documents or in original. But usually, as I said, we are not allowing. That is a policy made by the competent authority, and that is being strictly being followed by the scholars. This is the same scenario you will find in the facilities which are being provided at the record centers and record offices of National Archives of India. Then, of course, for the foreigner students, they are supposed to get enrolled after a letter from the university and through their consulate. That's a basic requirement for international students, not of the Indian origin, but if the international scholars, they are interested to see and consult this document, they are supposed to come along with the letter of the mission for consultation of the crowd. Due facility there, we are not having any hostel facilities available at present in any of the branches or at headquarters. So the scholar, they are supposed to make their own arrangement in this regard for their stay, if they are doing the work for a week or fortnight or a month as per requirement. So as such, there is no hostel facilities, but rooms are available around the area. Of course, it will be difficult to get an accommodation in this Lutyens Delhi, but nearby places near New Delhi station, they can stay, or some other, they can stay with their relatives in Delhi and consult the documents. They will not be facing as such. There is a lot of transportation facilities through the metro and buses. It's situated on the heart of Delhi, in just in front of the India Gate, the famous India Gate, and so there is no commutation problem for coming to National Archives and consultation. Again, as after reaching, they are supposed to make their passes, for which the research room team, they coordinate and get them available their passes, so that they can avoid the entry by a regular issuing of this regular passes for a month or 3 months as per requirements. So these are some of the things which I would it was required to be shared by the student and the research community. Any specific guidelines, any specific queries you have, I'm free to you are free to ask, and I will give the exact response to those queries. So if you have those things, let it be in a interactive mode, so that you will be getting more opportunity to speak, and and understand the things. A lot of queries may be in your mind, a lot of clarifications must be available with you. So I'm sure that will help you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. This was very, very useful and elaborate. We already have some questions coming in chat box, but before we go on to those questions, I will give the floor to Samir to discuss his points, share his insights, and then we can go on to the question and answers. I hope that is okay with everybody. You can keep typing your questions in the chat box. Meanwhile, also you can ask them by unmuting yourself in the Q&A round uh, later. So over to you, Samir. Thank you.
Uh,
Mm.
thank you, Vidushi, for having me here, and good afternoon, everyone. And as Sir has already added everything regarding the archives introduction and all, and whatever the researchers and scholars need to be done before coming to archives. So first of all, I would like to add some things. Regarding coming up to the archives, like if you want to consult any document or whatever research you are coming up with, so first of all you should go through the website. There's a website called Abhilek Patel. That's where you can see the documents digitized over there, and over there you can register yourself first. All you need to do, you have to have an email ID, and then you can log in into register yourself into that particular website and log in into the uh, portal. This will help you figure out what the archives have in their holdings. Before coming to archives physically, first you will go through the website, and it will definitely help you out. Like if you wanted to physically visit over there or not. So that will help you. Even you can see the documents over there in a digitized mode, which you can take see yourself first. Okay. So some of the files like which are not available on digitized, as sir said, DOD, we have DOD, we have POD, page on demands. So for the international students who are not in Delhi or other places, so they can requisite those files like for on the page on demand or TOD type things. So these are the first things like if you wanted to come to archives, so first go through the Abhilek portal. Or if you wanted to physically come to the archives, then you have to, as sir said, like you have to register for the research room. Over there, you have to have your identity certificate and NOC kind of. And for the international students, like as sir said, like for the embassy or consulate, you have to have a document from there, and you can register yourself. The research room usually reply back to him within a week, and so you can physically visit over there. They can. After that, when you get a reply, they will register you over there, and the paperwork can be done over there. That's it. And if you have any questions, everyone, like how to come up there and whatever the how to go through the documents over the public portal and other things like that will take a time for the demonstration. Like I would love to go through a demonstration over, but that will take a time. So we will discuss it later or the other session towards it. So for now, that's the basic intro for the archive. So thank you, Vidushi.
Thank you so much, Samir. I really thank both Samir and Sir for sharing their insights on navigating the National Archives of India. Now I invite questions from our participants. There are already questions in the chat box. I'm going to read them out. But also, meanwhile, feel free to write your questions in the chat box or unmute yourself and ask your question. Both is okay and fine, whatever works for you. So the first question that has come to us is from Zed, and he writes that, "Hello, sir. I was
Yeah.
consulting with I'll read it out, sir. So I'll just so that everybody knows what the question is. The question is, hello, sir. I was consulting records of the Election Commission of India from 1951 on the Abhilek Patal. While the names While the files mention many constituency and ward level maps being received and attached from Home Department or Delimitation Commission, it was missing in the scanned copy available on the portal. Where can I find these maps online or offline? Are they filed elsewhere in a different section?
Yeah. Uh, 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 Now I will have to just explain what has happened, that during there were some lapses, the technical lapses, because which we were going in though in so fast vision mode, that some of the pages they were dislocated, and again they were located and brought in the exact file. But if there is any issue with regard to that exact page, you can just write mail and send and make the payment for, if you have already made the payment of that particular page, and if it has not been received, then you give the request and a reminder that you have made the request for this much of pages, and these were the pages which was not found. So they will check, and I'm sure you will be getting those pages. As I said, there was at times the technical issues which arose, because initially we were going very fast, and in fact it was being done even in night. We were working 24 hours, so that, as I said, it was a project which was supposed to be completed in the span of 2 years. So we were thinking that by doing so in the haste, things will happen. But as I said, we were not that much experienced, and when we experienced the lapses, we had to check the speed, and then after that, and now whatever is being done, I'm sure such complaints is not being. Will not arise, and they will be getting the full care for consultation. And in case if some pages could not be located, or it's you just make the request, and they will do the needful accordingly.
Thank you so much, sir. Samir, if you have any other suggestion. Also, Zaid, if you want to ask a follow-up question, feel free to unmute yourself and ask the question. Um, so, okay. I think then we can go ahead. Thank you, sir, mm, for that suggestion. I hope they can follow up on it. Anjana is asking, and I think this is more a question to Samir, but also to sir, that could you please provide the details on one-year diploma course, which is at the National Archives? So about
Yeah.
that.
So 1 year diploma course, it is a course of 1 year duration, and it is for students who have completed their post graduation in history, mainly, I would say. And but if the student, they have done their post graduation in some other subject, they are also being taken in the specific reserve seats for from the other fields. There we are having 3 or 2 seats for that. But we discourage in the sense that till last year I was the coordinator for about more than 2 decades. So all these things and all the modalities I had framed. So initially, when I joined, there was only it was a diploma course which was only for MA history students. But when our one of our DG, former DG Jay Kumar said, then he's Mr. Ahmad, why UPR people are not uh, taking a student from other streams? Then we said, because of the research, the recruitment rules of archives, especially National Archives of India, they want that the student, they should be from the history stream. Then he suggested that let the recruitment of National Archives of India be done for the MA history students. But if someone who is interested in from a chemistry side, library side, why you are discouraging them? If they will get the opportunity of working in some private organization or business houses, or in some libraries, they will be highly benefited. So you just explain them that you won't be getting opportunity of working in National Archives of India as per its recruitment rule, but if you are interested, you go for doing the course, and if you are in the merit list as per your written and viva voce performance, you will be given the admission. So that practice we are following, but we openly say that this diploma will not be helpful if you are aspiring for a job in National Archives of India. For that, you will have to do separate post graduation in history, then only you can apply. But if you are MSc chemistry and diploma, you can go for some job in some other places, but not you will not be entertained in National Archives. And the same is the scenario in most of the states also, because they basically follow the National Archives rules and regulations. So for the recruitment purpose, we are discouraging. But if someone is interested from other streams and they have qualified the written test and done well, they of course they will be getting the admission. But of course they will not be able to apply for the National of India Archives jobs.
Absolutely.
So
Thank you so much, sir, for
the admission, it is on the basis of written test. MA history is the basic requirement, and then they will have to appear for the written test, All India test, which is done in a day, in which there is 50% objective and 50% subjective. It's a general questions, so that anyone can be able to do and get qualified. And then the very next day we hold the interview, and on the basis of the viva and written, the final list is being brought, and candidates get selection. Usually the session starts from 1st of November, and it continues till 31st of January next year. And we are providing about 10 scholarships on the basis of merit. So we have 20 seats, and the reservation policy as per the government norms is being followed. But as far as the fellowship is concerned, it's totally on the basis of merit. Whosoever comes in the merit from 1 to 10, they get their scholarship. It's not a big amount, it's a meager amount of 3,000 per month. And for students who are sponsored from some organization, there is no binding, or they are from history or any of the stream. Once the department is the sponsoring, they get the admission. And for them there is a special seat of 6 persons, six sponsored seat. But we are not getting 6 candidates. Usually you will get 2 or 3 on annual basis. So total strength becomes about 23, 24.
okay. Thank you, sir. That was a very elaborate response. Samir, if you would want to add, there's a follow-up question, so I'll just ask that, and Samir and sir can both add and respond to it. Is this solely limited to students of history? I come from a background in art history, and I'm interested in archival practices and research. I think sir has partially answered it, but if you want to add, sir, to anything.
Yeah.
Um,
For,
And
for archives, it is any student who is doing research, it is an essential. It does not confine to history. Anyone who has to see the original sources from any stream. If you are working in economics, that you require to consult the original doc. If you are working in polity, you are required to have some information from the original public records. So all the streams, they are the users. I mean, they are the users of National Archives, and they will remain the users. It's not an institution only for the student of history, but any researcher in any of the streams whose records are available, and if they are interested for those information, they will get only from archives, maybe National Archives or state archives, but any such information, they are available in archives only.
I just want to clarify. I think, sir, they're asking about the diploma course, whether it is solely, as you already mentioned, that students from multiple streams can apply for the diploma course, but they are not eligible to apply for jobs in National Archives. They will
Right.
only be taken from history department. I think then the question is that whether a student from art history background can apply for positions
Yeah,
of
yeah. From our
recruitment?
arts, of course, if a student who has done Sanskrit, Persian, Arabic, it will be great use for them, because there you won't be finding. In fact, National Archives of India, they are facing this problem of that they are MA Persian, but they are not history, so they are not getting job, or they are Persian, they are MA history, but they are not knowing Persian, and there will be huge collections of Sanskrit, Pali, Moody, and all. So it will be an added advantage if you have a history post graduation along with some Sanskrit, Arabic, Persian. So it will be added advantage, and you will be getting a better chance of getting absorbed at National Archives of India, because we have the separate Oriental division, in which the requirement is that they are from well versed with Persian, Arabic, Sanskrit, Pali, and likewise, which we at a very rare selection board we are able to get, and still there is one or two seats remain vacant, because they are having Pali, but they because they are not having that diploma. I mean the English, that they're not having the MA history, so they are not able to apply. So for those students, uh, uh, a literature in post graduation along with history, it will be totally an added advantage, and they will excel if they have this two post graduation degrees.
Thank you so much, sir. Samir, would you like to add anything to the questions, these two questions?
Yeah, I would like to add something. As already sir said about the like if you want to go through the diploma courses over the archives, okay. So first you need to have an MA in history, okay. Then you can come up to archives and being a part of the diploma. But as sir said, like if you want to recruit or to like have a job opportunity after that particular course, na, so you should have like first clarify yourself like regarding the eligibility mentioned by the government of India regarding the vacancies and recruitment of the archivist, because they have said like you must have a MA in history and then a diploma in archives. Only then you are eligible for the job for the archivist. Okay, otherwise you won't be able to apply for them. Like yeah, and suppose like as I am from Sanskrit, I have an M in Sanskrit. Again, I did the diploma in from National Archives, but due to the eligibility criteria of the government of India, vacancies for the requisite archivist positions, now I am not able to apply for that particular things. So first, I would like to add this thing like if somebody wants to come up to the diploma courses over there, they have to like clarify why they wanted to come to there and to do the specific course like for a year, and then after doing a 6 months internship after that, they also provide an internship over that, which is like if you want to join or not, it's up to you. So first, if you wanted to come to diploma courses now, you have to clearly yourself like have an perspective like what you want gonna do with that particular diploma. Only then you invest yourself in that particular courses. Otherwise, if you want to just practice the archival researches over there according to yourself, like if you are from the art history and whatever, there are many documents over there, like in the Oriental records and other departments. Like Oriental records have Sanskrit documents, and which have the documents like Ramayana and others, which have artifacts, art pictures. So you can research over there for the research perspective. And if you wanted to like come up for the specific diploma courses, you should take your time and like according to your career perspective, just take your time and then decide if you wanted to come up with diploma or not. Thank you.
Thank you, Samir, for that very practical suggestion. Very important. Thank you. The next question we have is from Baljeet. They write that, is there any publicly available guide for scholars to understand how records have been organized theme-wise? So, any suggestions?
Yeah, yeah. There is a publication division of National Archives of India, whose duty is to publish the available record series time to time. So most of the records available, we have a lot of guides available in National Archives of India. Some are non-priced also. They are being provided to the scholars. But otherwise, if someone is interested to purchase, there is a sale counter. They can get those guides from there if they want to consult those guides. And after 4 or 5 years, there's a further publication of those details. So it keeps changing, but earlier records guides, they are very much available. The guide to the records series on various departments. Then there was also uh, a project by UNESCO, which was called as Guide to the Sources of Asian History. When the UNESCO, they tried to bring out all the documents of Government of India, and I mean the National Archives of India and the state archives in three volumes, in which the first volume is basically the details of the records available of National Archives of India, and two volumes, three volumes, separate volumes on the states. This project was being done in 1991-92 days, and I too had worked as an archivist, and I prepared the details with regard to UP State Archives and Tamil Nadu State Archives, apart from National Archives of India. And I handled the documents of Central India Agency and Bhopawar Agency and Jaipur residency records. So, likewise, all the records series details, they were being printed, brought in printed form, with some specification of some of the significant documents available in that record series. So some are yet some are in the group of the non price publication, and some are being charged. The scholars, they can just procure it from research room if they are interested.
Thank you, sir, for that reply. Samir, if you want to add anything, or else we can go ahead. Oh, okay. So I'll just go ahead, which is, sir, there is a question which is more basic. It's true that not everybody, somebody might be just beginning with archival research. So, if you can, if both of you can help them understand that what are the kind of documents that are archived in National Archives, the range of documents, and what comprises the archives itself. So it's a basic question, but I think it will give a good idea as to people what range of documents might be available there.
Yeah, yeah. So the earliest record which we are having is of Gilgit records. That is of 6th to 7th century AD. Initially, we were saying that it was of 5th century AD, but 2 years back we had a carbon dating on this regard. Our former DG Arun Singhal sir, he just inquired that what authenticity you people are having, that it is of 5th century AD. Then we said this is what we heard from our predecessor, but this then he said no, get the exact date, and then we tried for that carbon dating of that particular document, and it was found that it is of the 7th and 8th century AD Gilgit record. That's the earliest record which we have at National Archives. Some of its part is still available in Pakistan. Otherwise, the rest we are having with. So documents available in these records, they are still to be deciphered. One Japanese scholar, he did try to translate what are the exact information inside it. Basically, it dealt with the Jataka's stories, the birth of Buddha and all, and the Buddhism, spread of Buddhism, and likewise. And then we have the 11th, 12th century records that is of Tughlaq period, but these are not in regular series. Then we have the Farmans of Akbar, Aurangzeb, Shah Jahan. Again, it's not in a full series. Whatever being which was being left by the British people, or we have a facility of purchasing. The government of India has given this privilege to National Archives of India for purchase of some rare documents. So through that purchase also we procured some of the important and rare books like the Persian version of Mahabharata, that is Rashnama. It is available in National Archives of India. And of course, the Constitution of India. One copy is lying with the Parliament, and the other original copy is with National Archives of India. Of course, we don't show, but at times it is being allowed. Of course, the facsimile copy is available for visitors, but we have one original of the Constitution of India. Then there are some very rare letters like the letter of FIR of Mahatma Gandhi's brutal murder. That FIR copy of Tughlaqabad is available. Then there are many other the rare things. Letters of Rajendra Prasad, lot of letters of Jawaharlal Nehru, Mountbatten, and Gandhiji. So we have a huge collection of those rare private collections of records. Then, as far as the public record is concerned, we are having a regular series from 1748 onwards. But I won't say that every document after 1748 onwards is available, but we are maintaining the regular series, I would say. Then we have the records of the residency records. The the British residencies or political agents who were taking care of the business, administrative business of the imperial government. Their records, I mean, the residency records of Jaipur, Bhopal, then Central India Agency, Baghdad residency, and likewise many of the residency records, which give some of the residency record. They give great information on the Gulf Gulf records, and the Portuguese record. They are available with us. Then the French records the whole French records are available at our record center at Pondicherry. Then in Jaipur, we have a lot of records in Moody. Then film division records. Recently, about a decade back, it was transferred to Jaipur branch of National Archives of India. Then we have the home records, public records, medical records, census records, and likewise what election commission records. The thing is that till easily the documents whichever is being handed over to National Archives, they are available. And then after that, after the coming of the 1993 Act, we are trying our best, and then every year we are getting the transfer of the records to National Archives of India. But I won't say you will get all the records from all the various important ministries. Whosoever are easily transferring, those records are there. And of course, as I said in the very beginning, archives is a place which is keeping the records which are to be made available in the public domain. So any classified files, they cannot be part of National Archives of India. Neither we take, nor the creating agency they transfer. So all the classified records, they remain in their respective departments till they are being declassified. Usually, scholars put this question that what efforts National Archives of India is doing with regard to transfer of this classified record. So, as per the provision of the Public Record Act, we have no authority to bring or to pursue the creating agency that you declassify. We can only just request, but till they declassify the records, it cannot come to National Archive. You see the records of Subhash Chandra Bose, which was lying for last many decades. But when the present Prime Minister, by the efforts of the present Prime Minister, we got the Subhash Chandra Bose papers, the emergency papers. These were all brought about in the span of 10 years. Some of the very record series like the Mukherjee papers of the Subhash Chandra Bose fame episodes. So these are the foreign records are a lot available in National Archives of India with their guides available. Some are in printed form, as I said, and some are to be consulted and not for sale.
Uh, Thank you, sir. That is for such an extensive detail of the records, and thank you, Akanksha, for raising that important question. Sohaib has asked that are there any records from region of Sindh or in Sindhi language, especially any archival documents written by women from Sindh region? Now that's very specific, but any records in Sindhi language?
I could not get. Just repeat, please.
Sorry, sir. Are there any records from region of Sindh or in Sindhi language?
Okay,
Uh,
Sindh.
yes. So the question
Um,
is that.
Okay, Sindhi maybe I don't have much idea about the exact series of Oriental records available records. So the Oriental record division, they will be in better position to give this. But there are a lot of records in Sindhi also available in OR section, because I had been working in the general side, not in the Oriental side. So I am not well versed with the details of the specific series available with the Orient, but maybe some of them may be available, because there is a huge collection of Inayat Jan collection in which a lot of the freedom struggle informations are available, and later Mughals informations are available. But of course, I say I'm not well versed with the Oriental record series, but I can say that these types records are available, and you can see the metadata of National Archives of India Oriental record. Whatever the metadata are is saying, they are perfect information. You'll have to see the Bhilek Patel metadata of Oriental record, and there you will find those exact information and content of the records available.
Thank you, sir. So there is another question, which is, do the archives also hold books that have gone out of print from 18th century to now by Indian scholars? Or also, is there any specific quantity one can access at a time? Say I have to access different versions of the same record. Can I access them all at once or only a specific number at a time? And what is the duration of issuing such records? Thank
Yeah,
you.
every day 20 files are to be requisitioned. In the present scenario, when the scholars are giving the requisition, 20 digital record, they can give the requisition for 20 digital records, and they are being provided. For that, they have to fill the form, give the details, and they will be allowed if they are available. Or if it is not in the very beginning, as I said, if those records are available but it is not in digital, then they will be immediately digitized, which is called digital on demand. So the department will try their best to digitize it at the earliest and inform their scholars. This is what is happening. And at times there are only a page. They want a particular one page for, because when this practice has started, they had a requirement of 1 or 2 page, but whole file was to be digitized, and the scholar, they were taxed by making payment of whole of the file for which they give the request to the DG that we are interested only for a page, and National Archives is charging for the whole file. So the policy was changed, and now it is page on demand. So even a particular page, 1 or 2 pages requirement, that is being agreed upon, and they are being provided if it is not digitized. And if it is digitized, it is no issue. Every day they can consult the details and give the requisition, and they can see and make the payment if required, and get the files.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. There were questions which have been answered by Samir on the chat box, which is like, where can you access Oriental records? And he mentioned that it is available on Abhilekh Patal. You should check there on the website. The fees for consultation of records, it is free, but if you need a copy, there will be charges. Details are available on the website. Thank you, Samir, for those answers. There is a question which is a little specific to both Samir and sir, but if you can answer. Samir has already answered, sir. If you would want to add anything, can you tell us more about the range of available records of government departments like prisons from the period after independence? Samir has answered that there are papers like rehabilitation documents and other. You can search over the portal with such keywords. If you would want to add anything to that, sir. So would you like to add anything to that question? Anything about
Yeah,
the
regarding
range?
rehabilitation, we have a lot of series available in Lahore Shed. It is a branch of National Archives of India working in Just Miller House, in which there is a big record series of rehabilitation branch. The whole details. So these records can be consulted from the Just Miller House archival record series, and we have a lot of records on rehabilitation, and we are providing some of them were in a very decade situation when the National Archives of India got those records, but we have repaired many of them. It were totally disarranged, so about 4 or 5 years took place to rehabilitate the rehabilitation division of this department. And now these records are very much available, which have been digitized, and that can be seen on Abhilekh Patel.
Okay, I think this is the last question because it is a follow-up question, and we will close after this because we've run more than 1 hour. For records that are not digitalized yet, is it possible to click images of these records, and are there any charges for clicking them using a mobile camera or iPad?
No, as I said, we have strictly stopped providing the original files. So, if the digital a record which a scholar wants and it has not been digitized, it will be digitized by the department instead of giving the scholar the facility to take out the print. I mean, the image of that file. There is no, as I said, there is no supply of original file these days. It has been totally stopped. So, whichever document which has not been digitized, they are supposed to give the requisition, and the department will be doing the needful by DOD. They will be digitizing those files on demand, and even DOD the whole file if they are interested, or a particular file, then they will be doing the POD, the page on demand. But scholars, they will not be handling the original. So they will not, once it is not being shown to the scholar, how can they can take the image? The department, they will do the needful themselves.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I hope that answers the question. We don't have any more questions, and thank you so much, sir, for your time, for your extensive responses. Samir, thank you so much for your time and your responses. This was a very useful session for all of the participants. I would just like to mention there is a session tomorrow that we have, which is on a workshop on constitutional morality. Uh, Please, you can check out the details on our website and register for that session. It's a hybrid session for those who are in Mumbai, can always go and join the session offline. And then we have a session on survey methods on 27th. So we hope to see you there. Please register for it. Thank you once again, sir, for making time
Thank
for
you.
this session, for giving
Thank you
time
for
to
the
students.
opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Samir. And we hope to see all of you in the further sessions. Thank you
Thank you,
all.
Vidushi. Thank you.
Thank you.